Welcome to day 107 of our school year. We have 73 school days left. Let's go ahead and get down our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days. We are on day 107. So let's find the factors of our numerator, which is 107. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Using the commutative property of multiplication, I could also write it as 107 times 1. Now I'm going to go through my divisibility rules in order so I don't miss any. So in order after 1 is 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. 7 is odd, so 2 is not a factor. And if 2 is not a factor, no even number will be. So next we try our odds, just our odds. Next odd is 3. So the rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 1 plus 0 plus 7 is 8. 8 is not a multiple of 3, so 3 is not a factor. We try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0, 5. It ends in a 7, so 5 is not a factor. We try 7. 7 times 10 is 70, 77, 84, 91, 98, 105, 112. 107 is not in that list, so 7 is not a factor. We try 9. 9 has the same rule as 3. We add the digits together. We get 8. 8 is not a multiple of 9, so 9 is not a factor. We try 11. 11 times 9 is 99. Then 110. 107 is not in that list, so 11 is not a factor. At this point, I'm going to see if 107 may be prime. Yes, it is prime. And if it is prime, it won't break down anymore. It has exactly two factors, 1 and the number itself. Now we want to figure out what our greatest common factor is. Since we only have 73 school days left, I cannot make a group of 107 out of that. So that means 1 is our greatest common factor. Let's go ahead and make our groups of 1. Done. How many total groups of 1 do we have? We have 180. How many are shaded in? 107. Now we did our proof with our model. Let's go ahead and use our algorithm to prove it in a separate way. So we're dividing 180 into groups of 1 and 107 into groups of 1. 100 times 1 is 100. Numbers the same, zeros a game, more on top, no need to stop. 80 times 1 is 80. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Okay, add our partial quotients. 100 plus 80 is 180. Over here, 100 times 1 is 100. More on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Numbers the same, zeros a game. 7 times 1 is 7. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Add our partial quotients together. 100 plus 7 is 107. Now we need to check divisor times quotient plus remainder, divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, we don't need to take the time to add 0. But what we end up with here, and why ones work the way they do, is that we have the identity property of multiplication that says when you multiply by 1, it stays the same. One group of 0 is 0. One group of 8 tens is 8 tens. One group of 100 is 100. One group of 7 is 7. One group of 0 is 0. One group of 100 is 100. 107, that matches our dividend, so that checks. 180, that matches our dividend, so that checks. So our fraction, our numerator is definitely 107, and our denominator is definitely 180. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 2, week 10. Today is 2/7. 7, 2020. And our fraction for today is 107 180ths. 107 is a prime number. It is not a factor of 180. So that means our greatest common factor is 1. And that means we made groups of 1. And when that's the case, you don't have to get out your number line. But I do like to show you here is today. And that there's no lines lined up underneath because this is our simplest form or our equivalent fraction in lowest terms. Okay, so go ahead and erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.